Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it is currently, I just looked at the clock right before I came out of here, 5:47 p.m. on Tuesday evening, and I almost didn't vlog tonight because I'm like getting all these videos up, and I've been cleaning the house, doing laundry, doing all this stuff. Alex is on his way home, and he is going to take me to Tanya's house for our meeting tonight. And so I wanted to make sure that I was like, got all that stuff done so that when he gets home, I just fed Boo Radley so that I could just like jump in the shower, get dressed, and then we could head over there. So I was like, I don't know that I have time to vlog. So this is going to be a little bit of a shorter vlog tonight. I mean, they've been shorter a lot lately, but I just want to make sure that I consistently keep posting. Because it makes me happy when I consistently keep posting, and it's good for me too, to kind of at the end of the day, like after I've gotten everything done and I'm kind of like razzle-matazzle, that I can just kind of like sit here for a little bit. I just got some water and kind of relax. So, oh man, what a day. I've gotten so much stuff done today. Well, first of all, I stayed up super late last night, and I was going to just watch like 1 or 2 episodes of Manifest, and I'm totally hooked on that show now. And I think I had finished the 4th episode, and then I started watching just a little bit of the 5th episode, and that was like the night before. And so like just like the first 30 seconds of it, because I kind of wanted to see like how it started. Do you guys ever do that? Like it'll end one way and you want to see like if they tell you like what happens like in the next episode. I know it's kind of like giving it away. But anyway, so last night I watched the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th episode. I watched 5 episodes of it. And I had 2 cups of tea while I was sitting out here. And I put on my coat. And I put on my Ugg boots. It wasn't as cold. Like it was funny because, you know, yesterday was like 64, 65 all day long. But like last night, it kind of like warmed up a little bit, I think. And then today it's still cloudy and gray, kind of a dreary day. But it's warmer than it was yesterday. Like I would say probably by 10 degrees warmer. Seems warmer. So I'm kind of really into, and I know that, anyway, I'm kind of really into the fall mood, and I know what's going to happen is, we're supposed to have some really nice weather, like the end of this week, beginning of next week, where it's like 85 to 87, and it's like full sun, and I know on those days that I'm going to be like, oh, I'm so ready for summer to be back. But like I was posting pictures on my Instagram story last night, like I was like on my Instagram sharing like pictures of like, I follow a couple fall accounts that are just like fall landscapes of trees, or like recipes for like pumpkins, cinnamon donuts and stuff like that. And the one's called like the Forever Autumn Witch or something like that. And then she also has one called like the Forever Christmas Witch. And so I follow both of those accounts. And so I have like pictures of like fall and Christmas up on my Instagram. And so anyway, but like I'm really into, and so then because I follow those and I like share them and stuff, I think like the algorithm picks that up, and it like recommends other accounts to me, and so then like all these fall pictures come up and then I share them. I'm kind of like really into the fall mood this year. I don't know what it is. The only thing that stands between me and doing my patio is A, weeding this front walk, and B, getting rid of my flowers, which I think it's time. I think like I'm gonna just pick a day in the next week to get all this walkway done. I'm just gonna get up early, and I'm gonna be like 10 to 12. I'm gonna get this done, and then that same day I'm gonna like throw out these plants, and then that next day or two see if I can get up to the flower market and get some mums and things like that for the fall, and just start all that. So the thing is, do you guys remember, I just remembered this last year when I got that pumpkin. I got that one pumpkin that was so beautiful. I got it like so early in the year that, do you guys remember it got like really mushy and like fell apart, and like the inside, like the stem, like fell, like it like sank into the pumpkin and stuff. You guys, it was like right here, I feel like. And then it had all those bugs in it and stuff. Why am I like just now remembering that? So I don't know that I'm ready yet to buy pumpkins. We might like hold off until October-ish to buy pumpkins. But I do want to start getting some mums and some other fall plants out here. It'll be pretty. Especially once I like pick all this up and make it look nice and all that kind of stuff. So doing some wash so that I have something nice to wear to my meeting tonight. And I was like going through some of my folded clothes in the basement, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just like wear something I haven't worn in a long time. But I always, well, it's warm enough to wear shorts, so I'm thinking about maybe wearing like shorts and a hoodie to my meeting tonight, because my legs don't really ever get that cold. But like I get cold on the top, so then like I want like a hoodie, or you know, like a long sleeve like flannel or something like that. So maybe I'll wear a hoodie tonight. I can't believe it's hoodie season already, can you? God, that seems crazy. So yeah, I stayed up last night and I watched Manifest. The only thing I didn't like about it, or I don't like about it, oh, there's my neighbor walking down the street right now, is that they dedicated like 3 episodes to like one kind of like story idea. And now it's kind of like the predominant storyline that's taking over, and I don't love the direction that that's going in as a TV show, I'd have to say, but I'm going to keep watching it, obviously. And then, so I went to bed, fell asleep rather quickly last night, and I got up today and just did, you know, normal stuff around the house, washed my face and put my lotion on my face and brushed my teeth and made the bed, and Boo Radley and I hung out. I did a video on my Peter Does Stuff channel of just like me and Boo Radley hanging out in bed. And then I filmed a drama video and a review video. I thought maybe he might walk over here because I could see him in the... And I filmed a drama video, a review video. I was going to film a Peterisms video, but my neighbor's dog was barking so loud in the backyard that you guys wouldn't, like, anybody watching it wouldn't have been able to hear it. So, that's when I filmed the Peter Does Stuff video of just Boo and I hanging out in bed, because I wanted to film another video before I filmed my vlog. I actually kind of, at that point, I thought like I had more time than I did. Does that ever happen to you where you think like you have all this time and you're like all of a sudden... Look, I was sitting there right now in front of the computer and I was like putting these things up, and I was like, okay, so if I do this and I do that and I do this, oh, like I have to start getting ready like at such and such time, you know? And so I only have so much time left and I need to get vlogging now. And so I was like, okay, we'll just skip the Peterisms video today. So yeah. So did all that, and in between like uploading videos and stuff, I kind of do stuff in the kitchen. Like I clean up the kitchen, put dishes away, like find places for stuff. Like right now I'm kind of going through my coffee mugs because I have so many coffee mugs, and I've been like wanting to buy more coffee mugs. But there's a lot of coffee mugs that I don't use. And so I need to go through and just kind of see which ones I'm going to get rid of. Those clay coffee mugs that I bought off of Amazon are so fantastic. And that's the other thing. Like, those are the only ones that I'm using right now, are those clay coffee mugs. And I have just been keeping them on the counter. And, like, I don't want to keep them on the counter. I want to put them in the cabinets, you know? Alex, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, he made me, like, a little coffee corner. And he put, like, little hooks for coffee mugs. And so I have coffee mug hooks over there, but I have so many mugs that I like, and then I have so many mugs that I don't use that when I'm like going through them, it's like, I don't really want to get rid of any of these coffee mugs, even though I don't use some of them on a regular basis, you know what I mean? So, I do need to be realistic about it and go through them and be like, okay, these are the ones that I use and these are the ones that I don't use, so... Because we only have so much cabinet space. So, but that's kind of stuff that I do, like, in between, like, uploading videos. And I used to, you know, back in the day, I used to always have, like, a movie on in the background. And so, like, I would pause it, like, when, I mean, it would just be something I had seen before, right? Like I said, I'd watch, like, Halloween Kills. I've watched it, like, I don't even know how many times, you guys. I've, like, in between, like, sometimes before Alex gets home, if he's not home yet, like, I'll put it on. And this is going to sound so corny, but, like, some of those Halloween movies are, like, homey to me. I don't know why. It's just because, not like Halloween, like, the season. I mean, Halloween, the franchise, like, the Michael Myers movies. Like, I don't know. There's something about them. Not necessarily the original. I think that one's pretty scary. I mean, they're all scary. But it's like 4 and 5 are homey for me. The one with the boarding school and Jamie Lee Curtis, I think that's 6 or 7. That one's homey for me. And then the new one, I don't know why, but I like it. That has, what's the guy's name that was in, like, 16 Candles and Weird Science and Breakfast Club. Why can't I think of his name? But anyway, he was in it, and Anthony Michael Hall. And so I'll just put it on in the background while I'm doing stuff. So I've watched it probably, like, I don't know, 10 times or something. It's, like, free on cable. So but back in the day, I used to always, like, when I was, like, filming videos and uploading videos, like, I would, like, start a movie, and then, like, I would, like, pause it or mute it, like, while I was filming. It was kind of, like, sometimes it was distracting to have it on in the background, because it was, like, I'm looking right at it. So it was distracting to have it on while I was filming, so I'd turn the TV off during then. But then, like, in between, like, filming, I would have, like, a movie on, and it was typically always, like, a horror movie. And, so yeah, I would always have, like, some kind of, like, ooh, bugs. I would always kind of have some kind of horror movie on. I was thinking about, like, making a list of Halloween movies that I want to see, just like I made a list of Christmas movies that I want to see. But somebody posted on Instagram or something, like, 31 days, like, it's 31 days of Halloween on Hulu, 31 days of Halloween on Amazon Prime, 31 days of Hulu on, like, Netflix. And so it's, like, a different movie, like, horror movie or scary movie for, like, each of those days. Like, and like, I'm not going to watch a movie, like, every day, because I have TV shows I watch, but I mean, I guess I could, like, while I was doing stuff around the house, I could just, like, put one of those movies on, because we have all of those things, we have every streaming service in the world. And so I thought, you know, like, that would be interesting to like, watch a scary movie every day. I've never done that before, like, in Halloween. Or, like, in the months. Have you done that? Like, I know, like, AMC does, like, 31 days of Halloween, and they do, like, a scary movie every month, or every, like, day. But I've never watched, like, I don't think I have. Maybe I have. Maybe I have, and I'm not remembering it. I don't know. I feel like that is something that I would do, so it's kind of strange that I haven't. I don't know. But anyway. Did you guys watch Euphoria? Did you guys watch Euphoria? Did you guys watch the Emmys? I didn't watch the Emmys, but I was looking up to see who won, and I was kind of surprised that Euphoria didn't win more awards than it did. Zendaya won, and deservedly so. Like, deservedly so. I have never seen somebody play an addict in a movie or a TV show so authentically the way that she did. I mean, it was painful to watch. It was absolutely painful to watch. She did such a fantastic job on that show. That show's hard to watch. Like, friends of mine, like, who have, like, that know that we've watched it, because Alex and I both watched it and loved it, and they're like, if they have, like, teenage kids, like, not like 17, 18, but, like, you know, 13 years old, they're like, do you think it's okay for them to watch? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I think the subject matter for, like, a 13-year-old is a lot. I think it would have been a lot for me at 13. You know, even though I was started drinking at 12, I was a pretty naive 12, 13-year-old, like, when it came to, like, world stuff. There's, like, a lot in that show that, like, there's just a lot of issues, you know, when it comes to, like, the whole, the storyline of the dad, of that Jared kid's dad, like, that whole storyline, like, that alone, I think, is a lot for kids to watch. I don't know, if you're gonna let your kid watch Euphoria, watch it with them, I think. I think 17, 18, they're living it, right? Like, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, it's very realistic to what kids live. So I think 17, 18, they're adults, but, you know, 16, 17, whatever, I think it's fine for them to watch probably, but... and then Jean Smart won for Hacks, and I was so happy about that, because she's so good in that show. There was another show that won that... Well, I haven't watched Ted Lasso. It won a lot of awards. That's on Apple TV. So I guess I should try it. Like, it doesn't look appealing to me. It doesn't look like anything that I would want to watch. And then the other show is one that starts with S. It's not Severance, although Severance was up for a couple of awards, but I have seen Severance. But it's something like Severance. It's like one word, like that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I'm sure somebody out there knows, has watched it. It's like Sequence or something like that, but... I feel like the word means like a group of people. I don't know why I'm thinking that. But anyway, it got like a lot of awards. It got like the most, that and Ted Lasso got the most awards. And I think they're both on Apple TV, which is interesting. Like Apple TV is putting out some like great TV shows. So is HBO Max. Oh, that guy from White Lotus. He won, the guy that played Murray on, I think that was his name, the character he played on Looking. I love that guy so much. He is such a fantastic actor, and I think he does, well, I mean, in White Lotus, it was kind of an out there character, but like on the show Looking, I thought he did such a great job of like representing like older gay men, and he's so good looking too. Oh my God, he is so good looking. But I was really happy that he won. But I was kind of surprised that, like, I mean, I watch so much TV, and, like, not a lot of what I watch, like, won, or was even up. I was kind of surprised. I think RuPaul won for Best Host, but the show did not win for Best Reality Show. Lizzo's show won. And then there was something else. I can't remember what the other one was, but... That was the Emmys. I didn't watch them. I didn't watch the red carpet. I don't usually watch, like, award shows. Like, growing up, my mom loved, like, every award show. But, like, the big one in our house was always the Oscars. We always watched the Oscars. I mean, from, like, the minute, like, the red carpet opened to, like, the very end, last minute, we would watch it. And, so that one for me is the one that still is, like, you know, holds the most in my heart. My heartstone. And, like, I don't care so much really about the Grammys or the MTV Music Awards or Movie Awards or the Emmys. They're definitely not the Tonys, because I don't really ever know anything about the Tonys, because I don't watch musicals and plays and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't care really. The Golden, like, even the Golden Globes and the SAG Awards and stuff like that. Like, I'll watch, like, clips of it just to see like people's acceptance speeches. I love to watch. Okay, so here's a known fact about me. Probably like one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube is old school acceptance speeches, and not so much from men. Like, I really like to watch the women's acceptance speeches. I don't know why. And what happens is I'll think of one that I've seen that I really liked, and so I'll go in and I'll watch that one, and then like on the side panel it like recommends like all of these acceptance speeches, you know, through the years of Oscars, and I've watched, you know, all of them at this point. And I love watching the Oscar acceptance speeches. So anyway, I'm very I think that's also kind of like my connection with my mom a little bit, you know. I grew up always loving to watch a movie that had a strong female lead in it. And so we always were excited, you know, for the Best Actress award, which was is one of the last awards they give of the evening. And I think my mom would really love that Frances McDormand is winning so many awards, and that she's being nominated for so many awards, because my mom Frances McDormand reminds me of my mom a little bit when I see her in interviews and things like that. And she would have loved that movie, that 3 Billboards Over Ebbing, whatever, Missouri, or whatever that movie was called. She would have loved that. My mom would have loved the movie. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, because I can remember talking about it on here when I watched it. Oh, there's a little chipmunk. Hi, little chipmunk. And I bought the soundtrack, and the soundtrack is beautiful. Something Land. What is it called? Nomad Land. That movie is just beautifully shot, and she's so fantastic in it. And my mom would have really liked that movie. I think she would have really connected with that character a lot. My mom felt, I think, very alone in the world. And so I think it's interesting because like that Nicole Kidman commercial for AMC movies, I saw a parody of it the other day, and it was like Gay MC or something, like GAYMC, but it was like this drag queen was like sitting down doing they had like the Nicole Kidman like ad running underneath it, and then her ad running on top, and it was like the exact same. It was hilarious. But anyway, Nicole Kidman has like been made so much fun of like for that like ad or whatever, and apparently they're doing like a sequel to it. I am not a Nicole Kidman fan. I have to tell you, like, I love her in movies. Like, I think she's a fantastic actress. But, like, as a person, I just don't like her. Like, when I see her in interviews or just, like, standing there being photographed, I just don't like her. And Renee Zellweger as well. Fantastic actress. I think she's an amazing actress. There's something about her that I just don't like. Hey! And, so, anyway, like, I always think it's so funny when we go to the movie theater and we see that ad or whatever. But what she says in it is true. I mean, well, first of all, who gets dressed up to go to the movie theater? Nicole Kidman. Okay? Like, it would have been more realistic if you... But she, like, she's all dressed up. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The ad where she, like, walks in and... Anyway. She says something about it's, like, a way to escape, And I think that's always, like, what movies were, I remember, like... I look back on, like, movies in my life that have really had, like, a strong impact, like, it's funny because in my video that I just did with Boo Radley for my Peter Does Stuff channel, I was talking about, like, why he was named Boo Radley was from the book, but really the movie, To Kill a Mockingbird, because I read the book, like, one time when I was growing up as a kid, but my mom and I would watch the movie, like, every year, over and over and over and over again, like, every fall, late summer, fall. We would always watch the movie To Kill a Mockingbird. We loved that movie. And I think it's probably the movie that defined our relationship. I don't know if the last time I've talked about this on here. I think I mentioned something about this last week. But so I gave a eulogy at my mom's funeral. And the whole eulogy was, I wrote it. And it was all written. And I got up and read it. But the whole thing was written around all of the movies in our life. And, like The Way We Were, My Dog Skip, To Kill a Mockingbird, Aaron Brockovich, all these movies that we loved, and I talked about them in there, and Boys Don't Cry, and I think, like, for my mom and I, movies were always a way to connect and talk about emotion and feel emotion. And I think to this day, like, movies, I think that's why I love talking about TV shows, and I love talking about pop culture and all this kind of stuff. It's just like, I don't know, it's fun for me to, like, talk about that stuff and whatever. But, like, for me, movies were always that way. I remember going to see Boys Don't Cry with my mom, and, like, she almost had to leave the show because she was so upset about what was happening. And I remember seeing Aaron Brockovich, and God, my mom and I both just, like, talked about that movie. I mean, if you have never seen Aaron Brockovich, Julia Roberts is fantastic in that movie. And that guy that plays her boyfriend in the movie, I can't think of his name, Aaron something, but he is so handsome. Like the biker guy, oh God, so handsome. My mom and I, we would always, like, I can remember I would come over here, and it would be Oscar night, and she always, like, had this silver threaded, like, sweater set that she wore. It was, like, this, like, tank sweater, and then it had like this short sleeve, or I think it was short sleeve sweater that went over it, and she would have a name. You had to come dressed as your favorite celebrity. I never did, but she would always have a name tag on that said Sharon Stone, and she'd say, "Do you think I look like Sharon Stone?" I'd say, "Yes, mother." And she would cut up, she'd get some kind of fancy cheese. Havarti was always her favorite cheese, and she would cut up, you know, her favorite cheese. She'd make a pot of coffee, and, you know, we would sit here and we would talk, and nobody was allowed to talk during the Oscars except for her. That was like, you know, if you talk, just shut, we're watching. And I remember the in memoriam part, we would both like just sob and cry, and, you know, as all these people that were part of all the movies that we had loved, you know, had gone on. And I remember the first year, because I talked about this on here before, that there was the year that I went and I, like, kind of in dedication to my mom, but also kind of because I just wanted to do it, I went and I watched like every movie almost that like was up for an award that year. I think I only missed like 2 or 3. Like, even movies that were like, people were up for like best supporting actress, like I saw like almost every movie in that category. And I think there were only like 2 movies that I missed. And they were like foreign movies that were like at the art cinema that I had, like, they had come and gone and I hadn't got to see them. And I had taken like 2 days off, and I just I went to movie theater. I remember Alex and I, like, we went and saw back to back the Lincoln movie and Argo back to back. And then the next day I started, and I was like, okay, I better be smart about this, because I started at like when the movie theater opened, which was like 10 or 12 or something like that. And I was like, I better be smart about this, because if I start, because I love snacks during movies, and I was like, if I start eating my snacks now, then by the time I'm on my 3rd movie, I'm gonna be like, oh, you know. But I didn't listen to myself. And I remember like the first movie I saw that day was The Impossible, with, I think, Naomi Watts is in it. And it's about the tsunami in Sri Lanka. And I believe that's where it happened. And it was unbelievable. I wanted her to win that. I wanted her to win Best Actress for that so bad. She was so good in that movie. That movie was so good. And I just went and I watched movies, and Tanya and I went and saw a movie that night, and yeah, and over like 2 days, I went and saw like every movie for the Oscars. And I remember that was like the first year after my mom died that I watched the Oscars, and I had done that like, so like if the Oscars were like on a Sunday, I had done that on like Thursday and Friday. And Alex and I had gone to see Argo like on Wednesday, Argo and Lincoln on like Wednesday or Sunday or something like that, but it was before that. And I remember I came over to Tanya's. I will never forget this, because Tanya and I left like at the like an hour like before the Oscars were over. We left. And so she said to Eric, she said, I'm recording this, so do not. So this is what happened. So we were watching it. Tanya was so sweet. She knew that my mom used to do this stuff. So she made platters of cheese and apples and popcorn and all this stuff. And she made all this stuff, snacks for us. So we watched the Oscars. Well, the in memoriam part came on, and I don't know why, but just because that part always like got my mom choked up and whatever, I started getting really choked up. So after that, we were going to wait until the Oscars were over, but you know they always go like 45 minutes late, right? So we said, let's go get a fountain pop. And I said, okay, but Tanya, like, I have to see the Oscars. Like, I have to see it. She's like, it's fine. I'm recording them. Don't worry about it. So when we left, she said, Eric, don't touch the TV. Don't touch the remote. Like, we're recording this. And when we come back, we're going to rewind it and watch, you know. And he was like, okay, I won't touch it or whatever. So we left, and I can't remember what happened. Like, somebody ended up calling us, that like sobriety person that like needed us and whatever. And so we ended up doing that. Like, I think they needed like a ride somewhere or whatever. But anyway, we were gone like an hour and a half, something like that. And when we came home, the recording had like something, Eric had done something to it by accident. And Tanya, she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you deleted it. And now we don't get to see the end of the Oscars. It was kind of funny. So anyway, I don't watch them as religiously anymore as I did years past. My battery died, and I'm almost at the end anyway, because it was like almost at 30 minutes, so I can't believe, I just went to look in to see what I was talking about, and I was like, oh my god, I was like at 28 minutes, so anyway, but what I was saying, because I just went to look, was that I don't really watch them as religiously, you know, the last couple years I haven't watched them as religiously as I used to. I don't know. I think that was something that was like for me and my mom, and you know, now that she's not here anymore, I still enjoy watching them, but I will say that like if I go over to Tanya's to watch them, or like Alex doesn't really care about the Oscars, so he doesn't want to watch them. If I watch them just by myself, even if I like cut up a bunch of cheese or whatever, like it almost kind of feels like, this is going to sound crazy, but kind of like a fraud, kind of like I'm trying to recreate something that's like, it's, you know, whatever. It just doesn't feel the same. You know, it was like, I think that's the one thing about grief. It is like certain traditions, if you try to keep them up, what you have to realize is that it's time to make new traditions, because a lot of those older traditions, like, they just aren't going to be the same anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they just aren't going to feel the same. It's going to feel like you're doing it to just like hold on to the tradition when the tradition is over. And it's like, you just gotta kind of let go sometimes, you know, and say, okay. Now that's not to say that I'm never going to watch the Oscars again, or that I'm not interested in the Oscars, because I am, you know. And I'll watch the movies, and who knows, maybe next year I'll watch every movie that ever came out, and I'll, you know, that was fun that year. That was really fun, and I was really excited about it. And that for me, like going, because I had never done that even when my mom and I watched the movies, you know, that for me made me like really involved in the movies that were up for the Oscars and talking about them and things like that. And so that was fun. I think like that's when I like to watch the Oscars, is when I know a lot of what's going on, or I've seen a lot of the movies or whatever, or heard a lot of the talk about the movies that year. Because for me, I think like that's the fun and the excitement of it. Like to just sit there and watch them, you know, and cut up a plate of cheese like my mom used to do, and try to recreate and relive this thing that we used to do together. It doesn't feel the same. It makes me sad, honestly. And so yeah, I don't know. I think like even with holidays and things like that, it's good that like holidays are different now, that, you know, and that's like really, I'm so thankful for Alex and his family, because they do, you know, holidays different. And so Caroline and I, we do holidays different. And you know, it's been nice to, is my husband home? I hear a car coming down the street that sounds like him. Isn't that so weird how you know, like, your partner's car, what it sounds like? But anyway, it's been nice to do things differently. I think, like, had we kept doing it the exact same way that we did it with, like, my aunt and uncle and my mom and everything like that, I think it would just, it would feel like we were doing it with empty seats, you know? And so it's like, you know, it's like when Tanya said to me on the patio that one time, like, I mean, we would talk about all these different memories that we have from the past, and she's like, I'm ready to make some new memories, you know? I'm ready to make some new memories, too. You have to. That's called life. That's called living, right? Making new memories. All right, you guys, listen. I'm going to get off here now, and I am going to start rendering this vlog so that I can, hopefully, it won't be up before I go to my meeting, but hopefully this way I can just post it as soon as I get home. And, yeah, so thank you for hanging out on the patio tonight with me. This was fun. This was relaxing, and I feel so calm and relaxed and ready to get ready for my meeting tonight. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Tuesday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most important, I almost forgot, reach out to somebody. Make sure to reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. It could change their day, could really put a smile on their face, and be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder and love yourself a little bit more. It makes a difference. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.